Two comprehensive victories for the Proteas today. One by the Proteas women, of course, and one by the Proteas men. The Proteas women have started their World Cup campaign on the front foot with a dominant victory over the West Indies, and the Proteas men have managed to seal the ODI series against Ireland quite convincingly after two comprehensive victories against the so called hosts. Today, we're going to be chatting about both of those games. I'm going to be summarizing them, and for those that didn't get the chance to watch it, highlight some of the main things in both matches. And we're going to be discussing uh, how we feel about both of those games and how we feel about those two teams. The women's team, I feel a lot very different to the men's team, of course, because the women's team is obviously very settled, and I'm going to speak about some of the players that I'm really excited about that are coming through the system in that women's um, T20 side, particularly. And then we're going to speak about some of the highlights from a men's side, but also we're going to raise some concerns regarding the Proteas with and what has taken place in this match that may be a little bit unfortunate from a South African standpoint because we are really unsure about what the outcome is going to be. But before we get going with today's show, before we get started, there are a couple of things I'd like you guys to please do. First and foremost, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way in, comment, and share. Once we've ended the stream, please get in the comment section and share share your comments with us and your thoughts with us, because it's very important that you guys do so as well. I mean, that's how we make sure that we get things spread to the South African cricket community. We've also released the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. It is the Women's World Cup edition. And I'd like you guys to please go ahead and support us by downloading that and subscribing to all issues. Every single issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. The link is on the screen right now, as well as in the description. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. I'm looking forward to discussing all these victories with you guys. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your live cricket show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we're going to be speaking about everything that happened in the Proteas T20 Women's World Cup, match one for the Proteas women, as well as in the ODI series against Ireland, the second ODI that took place today. So we're going to start off first and foremost with the Proteas women and what took place in that match. Now, it was a complete domination by the Proteas women. They completely dominated the match, and they were on top of the West Indies from the start. And it's crazy because, I mean, not so long ago, I mean, maybe it is quite long ago now, but in 2016, round about that time, the West Indies cricket was in a very strong place. They'd won the T20 Women's World Cup. I think they won the T20 World Cup as well for the men, and they won the Under 19 World Cup as well. So they were really, really styling back then. And Cricket West Indies was looking like it was going to be on and up. But in recent times, they haven't necessarily been at the levels that they were before. They've declined a bit. Sorry, guys, I just want to share this report that this was just finished by a byte. So I just want to publish it quickly. Give me 2 seconds. Let's get it. Cool, that's done. Okay, so yeah, it's crazy to see how the West Indies have fallen, I would say. Um, they were really good back then, and they've kind of fallen right now. So, by any means, we know where we stand as a nation. But this time around for the T20 Women's World Cup, I mean, in 2023, South Africa made it to the final. So they're going to want to make obviously go one better in this particular series and try and get to a point where we are probably hoping for us to be in a much better position, I would say, in this World Cup. I think that the team is a lot more balanced and a lot more settled than it was in 2023. I think a lot of the talent that was in that final have moved on and gotten even better. And we have a new captain now and a new coaching staff. So we're expecting a much more clinical uh, team effort from this group of players. And to start with the World Cup the way they have right now, I think we should be very proud of them. So South Africa won the toss in this match, and they elected to bowl bowl first, yes, in this match. Sorry, and they were excellent. They didn't start off the best that they could have. I mean, ultimately, I do think that the West Indies had some moments in the match where I thought they're going to capitalize. But overall, they restricted the West Indies to 118 for six. And that was an amazing effort from the Proteas bowling attack. But I do feel that they could have been a little bit more ruthless. And I do feel that they could have maybe perhaps finished off the West Indian batting attack a lot quicker than they actually did. I mean, at one stage they had them at 62 for five in the 12th over, halfway through the 12th over, and I really thought they were going to clean up the West Indies for under 100, but they struggled to contain Stephanie Taylor. She scored 44 or 41 balls. She was brilliant today, but that didn't stop Nkululeko Mlaba to take fourth for 29. She was amazing today. The way she turned the ball in and out, she really made it very difficult for the West Indian attack to really get on top of her specifically. And she got a career best figures of 4 for 29 today. They, like I said, after the 62 for 5 in the 12th over, halfway through the 12th over, they kind of let things slip away a bit. I mean, Alia Elena, she scored uh 7, but she was the next wicket to fall. But there were some contributions from Shemaine Campbell. I mean, she got them to that 62. But then after that, Zaida at James was brilliant. She scored 15 of 13, and she kind of helped Stephanie Taylor really take the team from 83 for 6 to the score that they got, which was 118 for 6. So that was the West Indies innings basically summed right up over there. Crazy performance from the team. I think they bowled very, very, very well. I was very chuffed with the overall bowling performance. Not only did Mlaba do well, but Marazan Cup bowled well. She got 2 for 14 in 4 overs, 3.50 economy rate. Kaka never took any wickets, but 0 for 12 was decent with a 4 economy rate. The most expensive bowler was Chloe Tryon. She went and Annelie Dirksen. She went for 1 for 14 runs in 1 over, and Sunil Lewis went for 11 in 2 overs. But the 2 wicket takers were obviously Marazan Cup and Non Kululeku Mhlaba. So yeah, well done to the bowling attack for being so clinical. But then was the main attraction. Then came the the one thing that we could really say carried us in the last World Cup was our opening partnership in the 2023 World Cup, definitely. But Laura Wolfart and Tasman Brits looked absolutely untouchable today. They were fantastic. There were times in the match, I feel, where they did maybe get a little bit too excited or too ahead of themselves and almost gave their wickets away by trying shots that they maybe shouldn't have, being too attacking at times. But Laura Wolfhard scored 59 or 55 balls, the captain, at a strike rate of 107. And Tasman Britt scored 57 or 52, 6 fours, 109.61 strike rate. Now, a lot of people might say that that is quite slow for a T20 game, but all in all, um, we chased it down with quite some ease. We finished the game off with 13 balls remaining. Now, for net run rate, you would have hoped that they chased it down a little bit faster because you try to take advantage of these situations when your team has an opportunity to really, really get on top of another team and destroy them completely in a World Cup, in a tournament. It's always great to try and finish it off as quickly as possible because then it works for your net run rate. It really helps. But in this case, we did enough, I guess, to get a decent victory. Obviously, it was a 10-wicket victory, dominant, and it was the highest partnership of any wicket against the West Indies, which is quite fantastic. Um, Another thing that obviously stood out is this is the 12th half century for Laura Wolfhard and the first as a skipper in a World Cup. So that was also another great thing. And it was the 13th half century for Tasman Brits. And it was only the pair's second 100 plus run partnership together. So it's going on the up right now, and we're hoping that they can continue this as a unit. But a very good start, and I really like when I'm talking about this particular team. I think some players that really need a mention that I think are going to be massive stars for the future is Annelie Dirksen. I think she's brilliant with the bat and with the ball. I like her batting a lot more than her bowling, to be honest with you. I think her batting is really good and underrated. I think she's brilliant. And we're starting to see Nadine de Klerk start to take a more senior role in this team. Now, she's no more longer the youngster, and we're going to see a lot from her, I feel. But I like the balance in this team. It has everything. I mean, to have so many bowlers in this team is fantastic. Look over here, for example, if you look at the lineup, you'll see it straight away. Marazan Kapp bowls, Sune Lewis bowls, Chloe Tryon, Nadine de Klerk, Annelie Dirksen, Mlaba bowls, and Ayabonga Kaka, of course, they bowlers. So we bowl really deep, if you can say so. Not and then also we bat very deep as well. I mean, to have your specialist keeper batter at 8 in a on the list is crazy. To bat that low. So we bat quite deep, and I think there's a lot of talent in the side, and I'm hoping that they can continue this. They have a massive test against England next, and hopefully they can take a victory in that particular match when it comes to the women. So congratulations to the women today for finishing off a clinical opening game from a T20 World Cup perspective. Now let's move on. Let's talk about the men's side, who also got a victory today. So we have a clean sweep of victories from a Proteas perspective. We can sit here really happy about the performances today and say that we are very proud of this team and the way they performed so far in the series, because we kind of didn't get the job done in the T20s, and I thought that we would be a lot more settled in the T20s than we were in the ODIs. I thought that the T20 team was a lot is a lot further ahead than the ODI team currently. But clearly, Ireland didn't come to the party on this one. Especially in this game, they looked quite tired, and it was crazy. But in this match, South Africa were completely dominant. It was the highest score it was a record score on the ground from a South African standpoint, and we won the toss, and we elected to, of course, we elected to bat first again, same as in the first game, which is which was understandable on this wicket because we know it's very difficult to chase on this wicket. We've seen that throughout the World Cup that was here. And we've seen it in this particular series as well. That in the first game and the second game, it's quite difficult to chase on this ground. And I must say, South Africa were completely dominant today. Particularly, I liked the way we started with the bat. And I really thought that today was going to be the day, that Temba Bavuma finds his form again. He was looking bloody brilliant in the middle today, hitting the ball comfortably. I like the adjustment that he made. He stood quite deep outside of his crease this time to prevent what happened to him in the first match. So that I like to see that adaptability and that thinking, meaning that they obviously are thinking about all of these things and they are actually making changes when it comes to this. From a South African standpoint, they are thinking about these things and working on stuff and analyzing conditions and playing accordingly. But Ryan Rickelton and Temba Bavuma got off to a very, very good start. They were 68 for 0 until Temba went for a single and dove and tried to and dove into the crease, and then something happened. I think to his it must be his elbow, the way they strapped the elbow. It seemed like it was an elbow, and he's had many elbow issues in the past. At first, I thought it was maybe just pitch burn, but then he started shaking his arm like this the entire time. And then I was like, okay, maybe that's normally what you do when there's a sharp pain that's running through your arm or something. Or I know for me personally, from the injuries that I've had, when I've hurt my arm and I feel like a sharp pain, or it goes a little bit dead, then I kind of shake it to try and just to get some blood flowing in it. But it seemed like it was a bad injury for him, and he had to retire hurt. At one stage, I thought after they strapped it that he was going to continue, but he couldn't, and he retired hurt. I don't know how much that was a precaution or not, but he's gone for scans, and he couldn't come out to be the captain in the during Ireland's innings. But it was a very good performance from the both of them. I think they started very well. Um, but after he retired hurt, it kind of disrupted things a bit. And Ryan Rickelton was the next to fall in the 14th over. 78 for 1. South Africa were at that point. Ryan Rickelton got 40 of 39. So I'm glad that he's continued his form. Unfortunately, not getting another half century, but he still showed an amazing, he still played an amazing knock, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Then Rassie van der Dussen came out, and he was doing really well at the crease. I mean, he took South Africa past the 100-run mark. He was building a good partnership in the middle with Kyle Verreynne. But then, yeah, he too lost his wicket. And on 35, unfortunately, not getting a high score in this match. I thought that today would be the one. After he got a duck in the previous one, I thought that this game would be the one where he completely dominates and then ends up scoring 100 or something today. That's what I was hoping for from a South African standpoint. But it wasn't to be. And then it was like the main partnership, I would say, between Kyle Verreynne and Tristan Stubbs. The two of them were absolutely fantastic today. They took the game away from Ireland, in my opinion. Kyle Verreynne brought up an amazing half century, and it was a fantastic performance from the both of them. I like the way Kyle batted in this game because he kind of just took the more supportive role, played some great shots. There were certain ones where he could have been better with the movement of his feet, but he didn't move his feet as much as I'd liked. But it was a 103-run partnership of 87 deliveries, which was brilliant. And I think that was the kind of the sign that South Africa would dominate this match and probably put on a high total. Unfortunately, Kyle lost his wicket, and but Tristan Stubbs was still out in the middle, and then came the next big partnership of 92 of 61 balls, I think it was. Let me just double check that. Yeah, I have it on the screen for you guys. It was 92 of 62 balls between Tristan Stubbs and Vian Mulder. And the pair of them were very destructive. They went for it. They really went for it and tried to play an attacking brand of cricket and an aggressive brand of cricket. I mean, Tristan Stubbs bring up a century, 112 of 81 deliveries, 8 4s, 3 6s, a strike rate of 138.27. What a brilliant knock for your maiden 100. It's absolutely fantastic. He showed really what he was all about. But it was him and Mulder that took South Africa past 331, 330. They took him to 331, and then William Mulder lost his wicket, obviously trying to go for it and try to be unselfish and try to go for it. Tristan Stubbs stayed till the end with Andile Pehlaquayo, and they ended their innings on 343 for 4. I would have liked Andile to maybe give the strike a little bit more to Tristan at the end there. He kind of hogged the strike a little bit in some cases, and I was hoping that he would have maybe given the strike a little bit more to the likes of Tristan Stubbs, who was seeing the ball brilliantly. Yeah, but overall, a clinical victory, brilliant victory, 174 runs. They bowled the island out for 169, and our bowlers were excellent. I think Lazard Williams was really good. 3 more wickets for him. He was a little bit expensive. They did go a little bit after him, but 3 for 36 was a good return in 5 overs. Lungingiri was brilliant. His slower deliveries were almost unplayable. 2 for 38 he got, 5.42 economy for his 7 overs. Bjorn Fortuin was a little bit expensive, but he did take the 2 wickets and closed out the game. He got the final wicket of the game as well. Vian Mulder was very expensive today, 1 for 36. I don't know why they turned to Vian Mulder at the end there. I would have maybe gone back to Othniel Batman or maybe gone back to Lazard Williams to close the game off, but maybe they just wanted to give them extra overs to the second string bowlers or the backup bowlers, I would say, in this particular team. I don't know. But yeah, we bowled them at 569, and they still had 20 overs or just under 19.3 overs still left in the match. So dominant victory from South Africa, and we end up winning the series. We've clinched the series 2-0, and there's still one more game to play. So I hope that in that game, we're going to see a lot more people. I don't know what you're saying. We're going to see a lot more of the newer guys maybe get an opportunity. I hope in the last game. I mean, go for it. Play Jason Smith, play Ngaba Peter, etc. Let's see what they can do. I think it's time for that now. You've now set yourself up to experiment a little bit more. So I hope that they do that in the final game. Big worries though for Coach Shukri, because Tony Rizorzi had a little bit of an issue. They left him out of the squad of the team today because as a precaution. Temba Bavuma, big worry about him. If we lose both of them, that's a massive blow for South Africa, because that's your opener gone and your number 4 batter gone. That means that he's going to have to call up a new batter. Oh, actually, he doesn't have to call up a new batter. He probably has to call up another batter as a cover, probably. But then at least we know we'll see Ryan Rickleton and Kyle Verreynne play in both matches. And we're probably going to have to play Vian Mulder and Sineran Mutusami as well to cover all our bases, because Nandre Berger is also out, so they're going to probably have to call up someone new. Maybe they'll call up Michael Pretorius again to add that extra pace. We don't really have a left arm replacement, and that's my concern. So the only other option would be Kwena Mapaka as a left arm man. I don't think we should play him. I don't think Test cricket for him right now at this level would be the right decision now, because missing Nandre Berg is a massive blow, because I do think he would have played every single match. So yeah, we're going to have to sort out that problem, and Dane Patterson's probably going to have to play more games than he would have thought he would have. And maybe perhaps Marco Jansen or Gerald Coetzee are fully fit again, because that could also mean that they might be able to be called up too. Oh, there Kelly said that Marco played today. So okay, cool. So that's a good sign. So perhaps they could call him up from a South African standpoint because we do need a left armer to replace. I feel Nandre. It just gives you a nice option and balance to your bowling attack. So those are the very very um, um, no, Lawrence. It's not. They were on. They weren't injured. They were on their last stint of their rehabilitation, which I think ended a couple of days ago. So, um, yeah. So that's probably why Marco Janssen played. Anyway, yeah. So that's the concerns that I wanted to lay on the table from that perspective, because I do hope that we sort that out, because that's more headaches for Coach Shukri. I mean, he would be probably extremely upset with the way things unfolded in this ODI from a test team's perspective. Obviously, you'd be happy for the victories for Rob, and that Rob got to maybe solve some issues that he was, or some gaps that he might have had in the squad and the team. But for the test team, it's not a good thing. And I will prioritize test, me personally, because I right now that is something that we have an opportunity to obviously go for a trophy in the test arena, because if we beat the Bangladesh, it will really give us a good step forward towards making a test championship final if we can win the two series at home against Sri Lanka and Pakistan. So it puts us on the right path for that, and it's going to be a very important series if we want to try and win that tournament and that trophy. So yeah, I'm a little bit concerned there, and I hope it's not too serious for both of those players. I hope there's enough time for them to recover for the tests. So let me just get into the live chat and see what you guys have had to say. King James says, great innings by Stubbs. He really circum. he really. Those Irish, he was far too powerful for the Irish. Kapi took some big wickets, is Kelly. Annery and Annika Bosch. You guys, I don't know what you guys probably is on a Friday night today. Sam, Khalid today, why played. Why they're not giving chance to Smith, I don't know. Khalid, to be honest, Ryan Nickerton should open the batting. I was looking at that today and saying the same thing. I think Timba and Ryan should open and Tony should bat at 3. That I would like that. Personally, I think that would make a nice combination. I just think the understanding between Ryan Rickelton and Temba Bavuma is really good because of franchise cricket. Great win by the ladies. Hope they win the World Cup, says Sam. Me too. Tex says Pekhlukwa denied Tristan to strike. The strike, who was on 110, not out, did nothing himself in the next 2 balls. He needs to be taught a lesson. He learned the lesson in the actual innings, actually, and he ended up running. Temba Bavuma at the post presser on his injury. I've aggravated an old injury and my arm is quite sore. It's important to not note that this is the exact same injury that has kept Temba out for a while. And yep, I said that earlier on. It seemed like it was a reoccurring injury over there. It's a big loss if we lose him for the test series. Really, I hope he's not going to need more surgery now. That's going to be a bloody problem. Timber always gets injured. I don't know why they stick with him as captain. Gautam can be removed Hardik as captain. He wants fully fit captain. That's why they make Sky captain, but Rob still with Pavuma, because you can't predict that the guy's going to get injured, Sam. I know you don't like Pavuma and you want him dropped out of every single possible team, but the coach doesn't, and it is what it is. Safaras Stubbs have shown why he's the next big thing. Kyle played a stellar role, but I want to see him facing big teams. Well, he did. He scored 50s against Australia. I mean, Kyle's done really well in the matches that he's played. He's played big teams and done well in ODIs. So we can't use the big team thing for Kyle, but then not use the big team thing for other players, because we are praising Tristan Stubbs and praising Ryan Rickelton, but then we want to be critical on Kyle based on who we're playing, but they play the same team. So that doesn't make any sense, in my opinion. Kelly, Graham Smith also suffered from elbow issues, if I remember correctly. all sorts of issues, I think. Tristan Stubbs is announcing himself on the international stage now. He's been doing it domestically, but struggled a bit with consistency, but he's changing that now. But that's just natural. That's what we need to, that's why we need to be patient with players and give them opportunities. Because majority of the domestic players that are going to come through are going to struggle. We might get one crab in the big bucket that will take to international cricket by storm, but majority of them will struggle and will need some time. And if we back their talent and we back their ability, then we need to give them that time. It's just unfortunately the way things are because of the gap between domestic and international cricket. So we need to accept that that's going to be the case. And I'm not saying don't criticize, but I'm just saying we should be a little bit more careful with our criticism when and the way we go about it, because certain players are going to need some time to settle in. Not everybody has the same path, and not everybody has the same um, needs when it comes to improving their game. Some players are already, their technique is sorted out and they are very comfortable with their game and they don't need as much time as others, but some do. And if we think that a player is talented enough, like I've always said that about Tristan Stubbs years ago, I said that we just need to give him opportunities and give him time to figure things out because the boy is talented, extremely talented. His natural ability and timing is phenomenal. And his ability, and not only that, it's his decision making with regards to shots to play. And his arsenal of shots that he has available to him, it's just immaculate. Sam says, Khalid already under injured. Who should be better replacement? And Tony Temba also injured, will fit before Bangladesh tour. So we don't know. We're going to have to wait and see with regards to that. Let's just hope that Tristan gets the extended opportunities to carry on his good form, says Baralvi. Sam says Vian Mulder doing far better than Andile Pechelquire. To be honest, Andile doesn't deserve contract from CSA next year. I didn't think that he deserved the contract this year. I was quite shocked when I saw him on the contracted list of players. To be honest with you, because I don't think he did much last season to deserve a contract. Stubbs have shown why he's the next big thing. Okay, I already did that already. Carl's dismissal was absolutely unnecessary, though it was. Carl played a very good innings. I generally think the ODI format is his best long term. As I said before, he just looks a lot more comfortable in the ODI arena. But I do think he'll settle into Test cricket as well. I just feel he needs also. I feel he needs some time, some more time. I think we should play both Kyle and Ryan, to be honest. Both of them should be given the time that's necessary to be able to develop their games because they're both very talented players. But if there are players that are a little bit further on in their development, then unfortunately we won't be able to give too many players chances to actually do that. Sam says Jason Smith could have got some game in place of Andile. I agree. I said that I want to see him play in the next game. Sam says Khalid and under replacement should be either Michal Pretorius or Bayer Swanepoel. They have done to get a call up. They've done enough to get a call up. Bayer Swanepoel, I'm a big fan of both of these players, by the way. Bayer's in Bangladesh could be a good option as well. Michal Pretorius has the pace, but we need to replace that pace of Nande Berger. I don't think we can go with only one bowler bowling 135 to 140. We don't have extreme pace. We need one bowler at least that can bowl extreme pace. So Michal will probably be the better option. Or, for example, someone like Marco. Sorry, guys. Ched says, happy with the series win. Got frustrating that we couldn't close the game out earlier. Agree with you 100% there. Fian isn't showing much for me as a bowler in the format. He just looks like an easier bowler to take down. He needs to learn what the right lines and lengths for him is, and he needs to learn how to implement that consistently. Um, Tex says, Khalid, why is Aiden not playing? To get ready for the Bangladesh tour, take some time off, and to get ready for the Bangladesh series. That's what he was always going to do. That was always going to be the plan. Lawrence says, it's crazy how a lot of people completely dismissing RVD from the ODI format. Today was his second ODI since the World Cup, and now Tony must bat three ahead of him after Rassi averages 45 at Cricket World Cup 23. What is this? Um, no, I'm just trying to fit in Tony and Ryan Rickleton. Um, by all means, if Rassi van der Distance fit, Rassi should also play, and if he's doing well, he should play. Um, you've got options now to select from when it comes to that top four, top five. So if you want to fit in Temba, Ryan, and Tony, I would have that top three, um, and then have Aiden, and you could even bat Rassi. Yo, how does Rassi get into this team with Tristan Stubbs, Heinrich Klaassen? Are you telling me that Tony then gets dropped and Rassi plays? Then that can be the straight swap. Then, I mean, either or for me. Um, Ryan's looking really good though, um, at the moment. But I know it's Ireland, and we don't want to get too carried away from it with it. But let's see what happens. Um, because if Rassi can continue his form and have a great run leading up to the Champions Trophy and has a good Champions Trophy, then you can't look past him, eh? Definitely can't. Let's see if he can survive though till the World Cup, if he's still going to play, or if he's maybe going to. It's all up to him and how he feels personally. BBG3 says in Women World Cup, a team thought to be the champion, but after first match, it seems they will be out. Hard job to beat. Australia women ahead of India women. I don't know what you mean there. Kelly says Stubbs' game has gone to another level. He was talented at Coke Week when he was leading run scorer. Will admit he's actually more talented than I thought he was at first. Um, Tony and Ryan are batting out for a spot at the top along with Timber. That's a good way of looking at it as well. Um, Sam says, Holly, what happened to Anik Nokia? Is he done from international era for SA in Test or ODIs, even T20? He's not considered nowadays. Why so early? That was his decision. After he had another serious injury, he decided to take a step back a little bit from the longer formats. Um, so it wasn't South Africa's decision because South Africa want Andrich Nokia to play and they want him in every squad. But he decided out of his own, for his own well-being, to just maybe take us a little bit a break from the longer formats and to fully heal up probably. I really hope that he comes back into the mix. Um, Lawrence says Nande Berger is also out with the exact same lumbar injury as um, that has kept Anrich out for a year. I hope he recovers quickly. These bowlers pick up that very often, and it's something that they need to fix. I mean, I asked Dale Steyn about this in the press conference at the SA20 auction. I asked him what sort of advice can he give bowlers and young bowlers coming through on how to manage their workloads, because we're seeing a lot of young bowlers get injured, and a lot of bowlers get injuries that put them out for a very long time. And I do feel it's because of the amount of cricket that they're playing. There's so much cricket happening. So that's something that they need to fix. Um, so that's something that I hope that they do. Um, because yeah, we need to find ways. I mean, we have some of the this technology and medicine has advanced so much since the old days. Surely they can figure out a way on how to protect our fast bowlers and find methods or techniques or exercises that they can do to strengthen those muscles that they use, um, for when they do bowl, etc. Um, so yeah, Jaden Powell says, yeah, this is regarding Quinton de Kock and David Miller's fine. He's playing CPL. Quinton de Kock, no update on him on whether he's going to retire completely or not. Coach Rob said he will update us as soon as he finds out and has a conversation with Quinny again. Quinny's the type of guy you need to give him space and let him come to his own decision, and then you have a conversation with him about things. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Really happy that we could get victories, both Proteas teams. Smash the subscribe button, click that notification bell for all future videos, please. Very important that you guys smash the like button as well and comment in the comment section after we've ended the stream, because that's how we get our videos recommended on YouTube. So please do that for me. Even if you just leave a comment to say what you thought about the show, or whether you want to just say something about the games that you didn't get to say on the live chat and I didn't get to read out, leave it in the comment section, please. It really helps out the channel and the show as a whole. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon with another show. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening and your weekend.